Well, it says it says I'm live, so hold on, let me just double check something over here. I would do like to see the chat window as well, if that is possible. Oh, is this it? Bear with me, viewers. Um, I'm sure my dear friend Owana is also watching the chat window. I'm not very good at positioning this. And do I need to pin myself? Don't I? Yeah, sorry. Here we go. Well, if you're watching live on YouTube, hello, good evening. Thank you, Angela. Um, I'm Chant, spiritual teacher and guide for hair and beauty therapists. And tonight I'm talking a bit about the all the astro energy, the craziness that is going on as above. It's a bit wild at the moment. Um, I can't see your comments in the live box, but my dear friends who are backstage in the Zoom room will, I think, pop them over into our chat window so that I can reply. I thought we'd maybe just take a few breaths. You know, it's always nice, isn't it, to just connect and tune in. I do this thing in the morning, like which I quite like to do, and I'd like to share, where I breathe in, and as I breathe in, I think I kind of speak to the breath and say, "Give me life," and then I hold my breath for a little bit, and I say, "Maintain me." Talk to my breath, and I say, "Maintain me," and then I exhale, and I say, "Let me live." And this is a process which is comes where you come into communication with prana, the life force energy that comes into your body through your breath. We live to breathe. Breath is the food for the soul. So I thought maybe you want to try that with me. So if you exhale all the air out of you first, and inhale fully and slowly, asking the prana to let you live. And then hold the breath in and asking the prana to maintain you. And then exhaling and asking the breath as it leaves you to let you live, to make space and let you breathe in some more, to give you life again, more life as you breathe in. And as that breath maintains you as you hold it, and then letting you live by letting go. And just following your breath this way. A couple more times. Give me life. Maintain me. Let me live. Give me life. Maintain me. And let me live. Give me life. Maintain me. Let me live. Oh, it's just nice to come into presence with that energy for me, and quite appropriate as there's quite a lot of Aquarian energy, which is about freedom. And in order to be free, we need to let go, right? We need to surrender, we need to let go. I'm going to share my screen and talk a little bit about this new moon. I am in a second. I'm not like the best on tech, as you may have seen. There we go. Can you see that, guys? Yeah, awesome. I'd like to make it full screen. Here we go. All right. This is the chart for the new moon in Aquarius. It's actually happening tomorrow evening, almost 11 o'clock at night in the UK. So in some parts of the world, this will actually be happening on Saturday, the 10th of February. And you should be becoming familiar with the wheel, the chart now, and the houses. So the sun and the moon are in the fourth house. They're at 20 degrees. The fourth house is not so relevant in this chart. Your 20 degrees is what we're looking at in your own chart. I'll go into details in that in a minute. But just to locate it, and you can maybe see my cursor actually. Can you see my cursor? Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the sun and the moon are down here. 2020, we've had quite a few consecutive new moons at 2020 degrees. It's like 2020 vision, and we're beginning to see things a little bit more clearly. Like, I do think this is I don't believe in coincidences, as you know. And we're in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is like highly featured these days, given that we are entering into the age of Aquarius. So we are changing this incredible like span of time, this 2,000 odd year old periods of time. What an exciting place to be alive, on planet Earth, as we swap from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And it won't if things last 2,000 years, we're just starting to find our feet, really. We're just kind of taking them brave first steps. And we have like a lot of energies that are resonating with that new age that have been happening. We had the Saturn and Jupiter combination as stepping into Aquarius at the beginning of lockdown, which really changed things up. Like there was no more normal after that change in our societies. And that was something when Jupiter and Saturn met conjunct in Aquarius. This was the first time that they had done that in like 500 years or something, in an air sign together. So and now we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. Pluto also takes like a good 500 years or so to come back round, I think. Maybe not that much, but it's just been really a big feature, this Aquarian energy. And like, what I want to talk a bit about what Aquarian energy is and there's lots of like words we use to associate with Aquarius, which I like it's like the great liberator. It's about freedom and revolution. It's like breaking the mold. Aquarius is something that does not follow fashion. Like, it makes fashion, it invents, it innovates, and it creates. And it also is related to community and humanitarian cause. So it's an interconnectedness. It's kind of like this period of time we are remembering or relearning how to connect as human beings. We've been in a very kind of we've been in a period where there's been very strong separation. So a lot of me and mine, and competitive structures where we try to step over one another. And when we come into the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius is more about working together, it's about kind of groups and circles. It's very feminine, really, if you think about it. It's like, the circle and the coming onto the same level, not one higher than the other. And I really think that is one of the things about the age of Aquarius, which is important, is to get on a level with each other and learn how to interconnect and create communities. Once again, tribal living. So we have like the sun and moon. There's a new moon in Aquarius. It's at 20 degrees, and the ruling planet of Aquarius is the planet Uranus. I'm like spinning my cursor around it up here. It's at 19 degrees of Taurus at the moment. So it's creating a what we call a square to the new moon. This is a challenging aspect. This is creating some sparks. So its ruling planet is interacting with its own sign, like its own new moon, in quite a big way. So, you know, this is going to be like Uranus is one of the greater forces beyond our control. It's an outer influence. Saturn is like our limitations, like it's the seventh planet visible from Earth. So with Saturn, it's like the boundary, it's like the edge, and then beyond Saturn, it's all, you know, out of our control. It's outer influences, spiritual influences. Chiron comes next, really, if you want to include Chiron. Then Uranus, then Neptune, then Pluto. All of these are outer bodies, and yeah, they play with us. We have quite a lot of them influencing us at the moment. So anybody out there that is feeling like, you know, there's no hiding, like you can't hide from stuff at the moment, and it's all getting a bit intense, then yeah, you will be feeling the impact of these planets, I think. So, yeah, Uranus brings this kind of shocking revelation. It's quite, it's like ultimate truth, if you like. You can't really, you can't really hide from what it wants to show you, and it's really, I feel like there's also we also have Pluto in Aquarius, which you know I touched on, and that's moved in, and that's gonna stay in Aquarius for like the next 12 14 years or something. So it's like it's really slow moving, and it's gonna and it revolutionizes it. Like it comes in and it just it kind of destroys what already exists in order to rebirth something. So this is a really powerful time to start to build projects, businesses, lifestyles that are based on a futuristic angle, a more humanistic angle. So yeah, if there's anything that you know you're like trying to deny, then Pluto will be pulling it up out of the shadows, and Uranus will be sticking it in your face, I think, right now. So yeah, which you know, if you're a conscious person and you're wanting to evolve, then it's great. It's holding a mirror up to you so that you can see yourself. And there's like quite a few of our personal planets which have been touching or interacting with this energy. So the energy of Uranus and Aquarius, when we're thinking about freedom, this is not the sort of freedom which just rebels mindlessly. I'm considering this more of a liberation from pressure we put on ourselves as well. You know, there's so much we kind of feel like we've got to keep up with our inner narratives of like of you know I won't be successful unless I do this, or you know I need to do this to be loved, or all of these little voices that we're also getting like a bit of a window into at the moment. This is what we're liberating ourselves from. We're liberating ourselves and freeing ourselves of the pressure of this voice of the ego that's kind of made stuff up when we were young and practiced it for years so that it feels real. So yeah, we're kind of like we can use this energy to free ourselves up from these restricting thought patterns and restricting beliefs. So on Monday, just gone, Mercury you've got there at 7 degrees of Aquarius. It did come and conjunct, like touch Pluto at 0 degrees on Monday. So I don't know if you cast your mind back to Monday, whether there was something that particularly showed itself to you. What did you have, like a shadow revealed around your mind and your intellect and your communication with people? There's sort of a Pluto will want to transform as well. So there may have been a realization that you can communicate a different way, or you could maybe see the power of your mind, or the power of your the way you communicate, or the impact you have with your words. That may have been something that came up on Monday. Then we've got Mars coming up to Pluto to interact with the underworld and pull up the shadows on Tuesday coming up. So that's so then we'll have Mars, Mercury, Pluto in and the Sun in Aquarius. Moon will have moved on by then. Um, so this will be kind of transforming and like looking at our desires, our willpower, our will, like what drives us. And we'll be kind of really having to face some stuff maybe there about, what our egos, where it wants to take us, and, also maybe get a bit of a reality check on, how hungry we are for something, how ambitious and, yeah, how like Mars is a bit of the I am as well. So it's a bit of where our power, like where we consider our power and how we're using it, how we're asserting it. Um, so if we're not asserting our power in a loving and conscious way, we may like have a bit of a battle on our hands with ourselves there. And then obviously Venus is like close behind, and she'll come up to Pluto on Friday. And at the same time, so Venus is about values and love and relationships as well. So there could be some some deeper understanding of in that realm, in a realm of our relationships, our partnerships, how we love, what we value, our relationship to money as well. Like maybe, that could get radically transformed depending on your attitude, right? So, yeah, money is related to Venus in astrology. On the same day, Friday, when Venus comes up to Pluto, that little green key in the sixth house, the one that has been causing us so much bother. So I'm blaming Chiron for this last couple of weeks of my mental state. Um, Chiron at the moment is at 16 degrees, and the moon's node is the little headphone fella um, right next to Chiron. And actually, the moon's node is moving backwards, so it's going to move to 16 degrees. So they'll all both be at 16 degrees on that day, on the 16th. 16, 16, 16. Yeah. So this is a powerful day of healing. Like this is a really, like there's some really big healing action going on right now. And I think everybody is getting a little touch of it in one area or another. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that North Node in Aries and Chiron conjunction, because I think it's really relevant to. It's definitely been pronounced for me. Like any sort of wounds we have around our own identity It's the way we see ourselves. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's coming up to the North Node, which is our collective direction. It's what we're focusing on. So if we're all going that way, if we're all going towards the North Node in Aries and Chiron's there, then we're gonna have the opportunity, and we're going to be faced with some wounds, some pain that we may have been storing, that is associated to how we see ourselves. So Aries is our identity. It's the I am of the zodiac. So what have we been telling ourselves? What stories have we been telling ourselves all this time that they can be getting, like they can really be coming to the surface right now for us to look at? I think if we're lucky enough, it might not be very nice when you're feeling them in the moment, but the opportunity is there to analyze, to observe it and say, is that really real, or is there lots in my external world that validates this story, or am I talking shit to myself, basically? You know, am I like completely unlovable and unaccepted in the world, or have I got quite a few people around me that show me quite a lot of affection and are very kind to me? So is that story really true? And can I let it go? Yes, I can, definitely. Just takes a little bit of practice. Keep coming back and remembering that's you're not, or you're that those sort of negative, insecure, um, feelings of self-doubt and self-judgment in a poor way are usually pretty wrong. Probably always wrong. When I say always, because we're just having a human experience. There is no, you can we're all evolving, and we're all going to have picked up stuff from childhood and turned it into what we decide is truth. Yeah, and kids don't know nothing. They've just been born, and especially if you're a baby or something, you could have an experience where one of your caregivers has got something nothing to do with you going on, and your little baby brain can just decide, oh my God, I'm a burden to these people. They don't love me. I'm unwanted. I'm unsafe in the world. And then you can kind of keep that little story deeply in your vessel until Chiron comes up to the North Node and it all pops out. So there could be some of that stuff going on for people right now. And I think, everyone's got a little bit of pressure. Like people have got like a bit of pressure. It's like a little pressure cooker going on planet Earth. And people are we're having to face some stuff, and the way through it really is to concentrate on ourselves, and to observe ourselves and let go of a bit of the unrealistic pressure that we put on ourselves. Saturn is at 7 degrees down here in the fifth house in sign of Pisces. Saturn is now moving direct, was moving retrograde, and is coming into new territory in Pisces. Saturn is all about reality. Saturn keeps it real. There's no sort of like flying unicorns when Saturn is concerned. It's showing us the reality. And the thing about Pisces and Neptune is that they can have rose tinted glasses. That energy can have rose tinted glasses. Wants everything to wants to keep the status quo. Wants it's like this idealist sort of illusion. And so Saturn going through the sign of Pisces could be doing a couple of things. Like it could be bringing structure and discipline to spiritual high vibration, selfless services or spiritual services that are, it could be kind of helping to formulate that and make it accessible to people. Um, or it could be really breaking down illusions that people may hold around their own spiritual power, that they are maybe in some way special. I think Saturn will be, um and Saturn and all of this Aquarius energy will be giving a few surprises to anyone who thinks that they have got some sort of control over, yeah, or some sort of power. That we're all powerful in our own ways, but actually, there is a higher power that we need to surrender to. And sometimes, if we're thrown a bit of a, what do they say? Do they say thrown a turkey? Thrown a gizzard? No, I've got a totally, no one says that. Thrown a something. When you're thrown something, it might be that you are being called to question what you're, whether you're really living in your a curveball. Thank you, Nasli. Yes, thrown a curveball. It might be that you have to kind of like check in with yourself and like whether you are really in alignment with the truth, whether you really are overdoing it on like being too out there, too rigid, too stuck. So yeah, the energy of the times is that we are going to be flipping things on its head and just literally surrendering. I think that the idea of control as well this is about kind of humbling ourselves and accepting the truth around where we're at and what our capabilities are and what we have control over and what we don't. Like if we're in a position where we've had a beautiful idea and we really want to run with it, and we think it's great and everyone's gonna love it. Well, what, maybe they don't just yet, and maybe you've just got to humble yourself a little bit and wait and like see what unfolds. Let the universe guide you, let spirit guide you, and take the pressure off yourself a bit. Let go. So yeah, there's a lot of letting go, I think, at the moment. I think we're actually in the dark moon phase today as well. So there is like, even though I was thinking we're gonna do like a little intention setting ritual work in a minute. Like, but I was also thinking that it was a really good idea to just acknowledge what it is that is good for you to let go, whether that's a mindset, whether that's a food group, whether that's a relationship, a job, um, a yeah, a belief, a core belief that you have about yourself. Like, what is not like doing you any favors and is like screaming at you that you've got to just let it go. So yeah, it's good to be thinking about those things over like the course of today, this evening, tomorrow, over the course of tomorrow. And yeah, burn them away or something. Just flush them down the loo, where however you want to get rid of them. Just acknowledge that you're turning over a new leaf. I think that's what we're doing. And then if you do it yourself, like if you actually if you take those things out of the equation for yourself, if you acknowledge that they're not really working for you, and you choose to take them out on your own, then you don't get like kicked up the arse by Uranus. Then you get the beautiful liberation and freedom of being a bit less weighed down by all of the things that you shouldn't be doing or saying to yourself. I hope that made sense. So I just wanted to do a little tutorial on how to find the degree so how to find degree points in your chart. So maybe I'll use someone else's chart rather than, because it can be a bit confusing with the using the moon one. Who have I got here? Give us a wave, Emma, if you want your chart on the screen. Yeah? Okay, cool. Here she is. Can we all see this? Yeah. All right. So like let's so we really want to know like what area of your life these planetary transits are affecting, and they are the houses. So the arrow that points to the left, you can see that Aquarius, you're 10 degrees Aquarius rising. I'm Aquarius rising as well, so's Ed. Then if you travel down through the wheel, you've got the first house, and then it goes in order, second, third, fourth, around to back in a anti-clockwise direction. So if your start of your first, this is the start, what we say the start of your first house is your rising sign. So that is 10 degrees Aquarius. And then you go around to the next segment, which is this is called a cusp. So you go round to the next cusp, the cusp of the second house, which says 20 degrees Pisces. So if that is 20 degrees Pisces, then somewhere in between 10 degrees of Aquarius and 20 degrees of Pisces is 20 degrees of Aquarius. So this new moon is happening in your first house. If that, I hope that makes sense. So, you know, and you can see that actually the moon is at 12 degrees of Pisces here in the first house. So it's earlier, the 20-degree point, the new moon is happening earlier than that moon there. But your moon is also in that house. So this new moon is awakening some of your psychic gifts, no doubt, some of your compassion and your selflessness, all that charity work that you're doing. Yeah, yeah. And the first house is about your appearance and how you show yourself to the world. So it's about your what people see as well. So you're being seen. Maybe you're being seen differently. Maybe there's a new way that people are, you might notice people approaching you differently or treating you differently because you've changed somewhat in how you present yourself to the world. So I also wanted to kind of then just I'll use the same chart to come round and find 16 degrees of Aries. Oh, look, your South Node is in Aries. So I can see down here in the second house, your South Node is at 12 degrees of Aries. So it will be in your second house, and it will be happening quite close to your own personal nodal direction, although you're leaving Aries because that's the South Node. So you're actually leaving a bit more of that me and my way, and collaborating a bit more with so your journey is from the second house to the eighth house. So this is like shared resources and also cooperation and diplomacy, fairness and balance in relationships. So, you know, this is a journey of it from the personal to the interconnected. And yeah, so I would say that's going to be triggering your journey. So some healing going on around that. Maybe maybe kind of feeling a little bit more aligned with others and accepting and open to connecting a bit more. Yeah, so Chiron will be there as well, like adding those sort of healing vibes to your journey and giving you a little, yeah, little insight into maybe what fears might surface from feelings around how safe you are to connect with others as well. Yeah. And let me just see if I can find. I just wanted to go because hopefully that helped everybody to find their own placement for those two things. So they were the two things that I wanted to touch on, were the new moon and that Chiron North Node conjunction. I think is quite important. Now I'm just going to go through the houses. I didn't make this slide, and for some reason I can't give credit to who's ever it is. So I hope if they're watching, thank you. I appreciate your work. So yeah, so this is just a little bit about each of the houses. So we touched on that first house being the I am house. So any planets you have in that house as well pretty much say I am. So like with Emma, we were just looking at her moon she had a moon in the first house. So I am motherly, I am feminine, I am changeable, I am moody and emotional. Like this is aspects of the moon, right? Moon changes frequently. It's very feminine. It's yeah, emotional, watery. So yeah. So this is what people would see. So the first house is your appearance, it's your outward personality. So if you're having Chiron in that house, this is like, showing you a bit of crisis around how you, and maybe a crisis or wounds around how you look or how you feel like you're perceived by your appearance. Second house, money, possessions, and this is why I'm saying this is my money, my possessions, my values, my skills. So this is very much connected to self-worth. So if Chiron is moving through there for you, this may be kind of triggering some wounds around your own sense of self-worth and what skills you've got, like what what your resources are, what your personal resources are. Maybe you're kind of having a little bit of healing around that. Third house, so I'm just moving around them. This is mental activity, learning, siblings, and communications. This is the house of the learning from your immediate environment. So it's neighbors as well, sometimes, like a neighborhood. So this could be like healing wounds associated to your intellect as well, or maybe some early school wounds if you were having Chiron in there. Fourth house, home, parents, roots, and inner security. So this I would definitely kind of hone in on the inner security around the fourth house. It could also be, relationships to your folks, the rents, or yeah, but definitely like how safe and how like secure you feel in the world. Yeah, your emotional stability and how nurtured you feel. Like, it could bring up Chiron in fourth house could bring up a sense of being abandoned or something like that, maybe. Fifth house, Chiron. Let's just concentrate on Chiron. But if you were looking at this as the new moon as well, this would be new beginnings in this area. So also let's use Emma's chart still as an example. The new moon was happening in the first house, so she's got like new beginnings in how she shows herself to the world, how she is turning up. So you could relate that around the wheel as well. So fifth house is romance, children, fun, creativity, better risk, creativity. I wouldn't necessarily say I serve, like personal creativity. I would say I create. And I play as well. Like this is the house of fun. This is the house of fun. Do, 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 do. Yeah. So, this could like somebody experiencing Chiron, the Chiron medicine in the fifth house could be thinking about or being shown where they maybe feel a bit dry. I don't know, like maybe feel like um, they like haven't aren't creative. I wonder how many people out there feel that. I hear it quite a lot. Like everyone's creative. Everyone's creative, right? We are creators. But yeah, a lot of people feel, oh, I'm just not. You're very creative. I'm not creative, and of course they are. Of course you're creative. So that could be a thing that comes up, or also around children, having like being a child maybe as well, like childhood stuff, a bit in the playground maybe. Um, yeah. Sixth house, sixth house work, health, service, and self-improvement. This one is saying I serve. I definitely feel like sixth house is about service as well, work and colleagues and things like that. So there could be some wounds around your health, your physical body in this place, and yeah, and some stories maybe that you have around your own healing and your ability, the functioning of your body. So this could be like really opening up some work there to um, change the narratives around what your body does for you, how it works for you. Um, we can kind of create our own illness in our minds and with the way we speak to ourselves. So anyone with like the Chiron action happening there could really make some radical changes around their health and their lifestyle. Yeah, and new moon in there as well, because this could be new beginnings and setting like better routines, better rituals for yourself or for your health. And seventh house, marriage and other partnerships. So yeah, house of relationships. Yeah, this is. I think that the axis itself, being between Aries and Libra, is working through that sort of theme anyway. Like we definitely could be getting. Our triggers could be coming from that area of or that dynamic. We learn and grow through the way we see ourselves through the other. So this is the house of the other. So yeah, maybe more intensified there, like having to really look at ourselves and how we behave with our partners or with in our marriages and our relationships. And then the eighth house, which we all know and love, Angela, don't we? Sex, death, letting go, regeneration, other people's money, and like shared resources, really. I circulate. So, yeah, I circulate. That's a nice way to put it. So, yeah, this is a transformation and but yeah, sex is a big category of the eighth house. We may have some wounds there that is around our own sexual nature, like maybe been shamed, like some could be some shame going on there for how we yeah, how sexual we are. Other people's money as well. Like there could be, if you had to look at some shadows in that area of how we behave with other people's resources, what we feel we're entitled to. May have to see ourselves a little bit in that area, how easy it is for us to let go. Like, so, having to, this could bring up some wounds around also around loss and losing things. So maybe, holding on so tight to stuff that because we have a fear of having nothing or, that could be a thing. Um, Ninth house, higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, law, natural law, so like morals, yeah, philosophy, we've said. So yeah, this is also, our intellect as well. I would say this is they kind of the opposite houses usually have a common theme. So I and we in the first and seventh, my resources, shared resources, and then we have like I think, and I can't see up there what that says. But yeah, this is like like education as well. So this is the axis of intellect. So again, it could have some wounds around how we around our intellect, or also maybe around our beliefs, our belief systems, and yeah, uh, in religion and relationship to God. So 10th house is career, status, reputation, vocational purpose, and taking power. So yeah, career, your job, your public image. So how we're seen, not just in our like everyday life, but how we're seen in our job and in our as a leader or as a uh, vocation. So there could be some sort of early kind of beliefs about our how valuable we are, how important we are based on this sort of status. And there may be some kind of like um, lower class consciousness, like feeling like, oh, there could be a class thing that comes up with a wound in that area where where we might tell ourselves that we can't achieve certain levels because of where our cultural background comes from. So we may be kind of facing like some truths around that if in that area, if the Chiron fell in the 10th house, maybe. 11th house is friends, groups, goals, aspirations. This is like communities and stuff as well. Science falls into this category, I would say, too, and technology. Spirituality as well. I definitely think 11th and 12th are both spiritual houses. So there could be definitely, like I would say, wounds around acceptance in friends and groups and stuff. In that, if you have like some Chiron activity in the 11th house, being accepted by your peers and stuff, that could be totally a thing. And then the 12th house, solitude, institutions, transcendence, and self-sabotage. Yeah, I'd like to also like add selflessness into there as well, and denial. The 12th house is a very shadowy place. It's like, if that horizon, that first house is like us stepping into the world, the one behind it is like, really in the shadows. So things that happen there, it can be quite difficult to see. They can be quite hard. Yeah, it's like really dark, like that area sometimes, and quite difficult to accept and to see. So it's a house of like escapism too. So this also it relates a lot to addictions and running away. So Chiron happening in the 12th house could also, maybe be wounds around our attitude towards ourselves, our sensitivity, and our to our these illusions, or like living a bit of a dream. So might be some waking up for people if they're having uh, a Chiron transit in this in the 12th house. actually not really telling themselves really the truth around who they are and what they're doing, some sort of fantasy. It can be a bit fantastical, the 12th house, and uh, yeah, but it can also lead to, a beautiful path of selfless service and spiritual love. So, once you work on the wounds in like when you look and see the wounds in these areas that Chiron is gifting us in, um, we take the negative mindset and early belief about yourself and take that away, and then you'll see the gifts of what actually is the reality of that house, what you actually have. So if Chiron is going through the 12th house for you, and you take away the self-doubt that you're worthless and that you're of no value at all, and you say, oh, that's my story, that's my narrative that is holding me back a bit, then you start to allow your skills and your potential to come through. Yeah, I'll stop that share now. Okay, what are we doing for time? I haven't really prattled on as long as I normally do. Is there any? Oh, there's some comments in the chat. Self-sabotage, Aries. Oops, Aries, 11th house. And asking how to get on the Telegram group. We are working on our Telegram group right now, and yeah, we're having a few meetings about turning our little family into a beautiful offering of subscription, so that there'll be groups, community events, and sharings, daily questions, journal prompts, all sorts of things that you will receive on the subscription. We've just got some details to iron out. But yeah, keep watching this space, because I'm really excited to see these beautiful humans step up and share their medicines and things in this platform. I've got some really amazing women in this space that have a lot to share, and there needs to be some sort of exchange for these gifts. So yeah, hopefully. Yay. I'm going to do it, Helen. Let's see if it's. Ooh, ta-da. Do you like that, Ed? It's good, huh? Yeah. I have no idea how it happens on my screen and no one else's, but hey. Shall we do a little bit of intention setting? I'm going to just give you a few like sort of things to think about when you're setting intentions for this new moon, like this new chapter. So really, you want to kind of not have loads. Just, I'd say a maximum of 5 intentions. Otherwise, you're really going to water down their power. So you want to think of like 5 things. Maybe if you've been following the call and the astrology according to your own personal chart, where you maybe want to set some intentions around your own healing, around resurrecting, or calling in things that your soul desires. So I'd say a maximum of 5. We're going to go by the 3P rule. That's not 3 pence, it's 3 P's. The first P is keep it present. So your intention should be present, like in the present tense. I am, I have, I feel. Yeah, so make it like now, like rather than I will be. That's like putting it off. Let's have it now, present moment. The second P is to keep it positive. So no negative words. So you're using only positive language. I am welcoming. I have enough. These sort of positive use of language. And the last one is potent. So keep it short and sweet. Like you don't want to be trailing off into like loads of details. You just want to keep it quite potent, short and sweet. Like say you want, uh, maybe it's money you want. I have £20,000 in my bank. You know, have it there. That's what I'm saying. That's my intention for the new year. That's my first one. I'm only allowed five. First one's 20 grand. Next one's 50 grand. I'm joking. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of time to write your intentions. And yeah, play a little bit of music, and then we'll close the space. Let's see what lovely mantra I can put on for us. Oh, I've really enjoyed this one, so we're going to listen to a bit of Ant Nasifty. Janae Ababa Nanakanadari Karamida. Showing off now because I actually embedded that one last year. Quite a long one and quite quick, but I love it. It's a great mantra. Oh, we got something in the chat window. All good. So, I hope you have got something useful from this session on the new moon in Aquarius, and good luck with your intentions. Like I said, we're actually in the balsamic phase now, so this is a really good time to watch your dreams as well. So if anything comes through in your dream state, now always good to look out for them dreams, but sometimes they can be quite strong in the dark moon phase at the end of the cycle, so that it can be a little bit of a message from your subconscious to adjust your intentions. So yeah, watch your dreams, check them, cross check them with your intentions, and set them intentions out to the world on Saturday when the moon starts growing. But yeah, tonight and tomorrow is a good time to be letting some stuff go, surrendering and trusting in the greater good. All right, so I'm going to stop this live, and thank you for anyone who watched. See you next time.